There is really only one primary reason to write a book such as this: to collect in one place historical artifacts that exist to document Solon Langworthy's existence and contributions to a profession that largely ignores or even vilifies those contributions. A secondary reason is to document some of the occurrences in my life that were influenced by this man who lived and breathed some 100 plus years ago. Solon Langworthy was a son, father, husband, friend, and foe to lots of living, breathing people. He achieved many things in his life. However, he was a man, not a myth or a legend. Sometimes he was an all too human man with all the faults and frailties that all men harbor. Hopefully, that comes through in my storytelling. I have tried to be fair. You will be the judge of that. The first chapter is about my time in Dr. J. Richard Burns' private practice. He was the chairman of the technique department at Palmer College when I was a student there. So he's the one that introduced me to Dr. Langworthy, told me stories about him. Chapter 2 is a short history of the Langworthy family, how they immigrated from England to this country to become some of the leading citizens of Dubuque. Chapter 3 is about how Langworthy built a bustling, successful practice in a very short period of time. Within a year, he was making the equivalent of in today's dollars of about $230,000 annually, and that was before there was a federal income tax. Chapter 4 is To Practice and Teach, Part 2, and this chapter talks about how Langworthy built the American School of Chiropractic and Nature Cure into a first-rate institution with a 2-year curriculum and an excellent faculty. Chapter 5 is about the Minnesota licensing debacle. Dr. Langworthy and a fellow colleague, a Dr. Daniel Riceland, succeeded in getting a bill passed through both the House and the Senate of the state of Minnesota. All the bill needed to become a law was to be signed by the governor, John Johnson. Unfortunately, the bill was not signed, in part due to the fact that D.D. Palmer traveled to the capital of Minnesota and lobbied the governor not to sign the bill. D.D. made the case that he was the discoverer of chiropractic and that as a result only he should have control over what should be in a chiropractic bill, and he did not like the fact that this bill would have required a 2-year degree from a chiropractic college. The Palmer School was not offering 2 years of education, but Langworthy's American School was, and it would have codified a more mixer law into place, which of course D.D. Palmer didn't like as well. Chapter 7 is about Langworthy's inventions. He had many patents for chiropractic tables, traction devices, head holding devices that could be used in surgery as well as attached to his various chiropractic tables. The 8th chapter is about how I came to own copies of Modernized Chiropractic. There are a few interesting coincidences in there. Chapter 9 is entitled Author and Publisher, and it's about Langworthy's published works, including Chiropractic Facts, Backbone, Modernized Chiropractic, and he was also successful in getting articles published in national magazines about chiropractic, which gave chiropractic exposure nationwide. Chapter 11 is entitled Chiropractic Lexicon, and it's about the influence that Langworthy had on how chiropractors speak and the language that we use, and how he used that language to his advantage to preserve his liberty rather than going to jail like D.D. Palmer for claiming to cure and heal. Langworthy understood the law and was able to use his understanding of the law to tweak the language that chiropractors use to keep himself and others out of jail. Chapter 13 is entitled War of Attrition. It's a chapter about how Langworthy went about trying to destroy his competitors in Davenport, specifically D.D. Palmer and D.D. Palmer's reputation. But Langworthy used some of D.D. Palmer's closest associates to show that he was not particularly trustworthy or truthful. The Palmer faithful will hate this chapter. Unfortunately, the truth is often ugly. to Chapter 14, a historical conundrum, and it is about the Morikubo trial and the controversy as to whether or not Langworthy and Modernized Chiropractic, the books that he published and was a co-author of, had any influence at the trial. And the truth is, we don't really know, but from the documents that exist, we know that Modernized Chiropractic was entered as an exhibit in the trial. Chapter 15 is entitled Fall from Grace. Solon Massey Langworthy had reached the pinnacle of success. He had amassed wealth, power, and stature in his profession and his community. Langworthy was ripe for the harvest of a fall from grace of his own. So, that's my story. Finding Langworthy, the quest to discover the life and times of a chiropractic pioneer. It will be available for you to read my story about Dr. Langworthy.